Coming up, remembering a dark day in western Kentucky 25 years ago.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. 25 years ago, families in Paducah were mourning and in disbelief after a student at Heath High School opened fire on a prayer meeting outside of the school, killing 3 students. Michael Carneal was 14 at the time of the shooting. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Carneal was denied parole in September. Survivors are remembering this day by spreading a positive message. Chad Hedrick has more.
December 1st, 1997 is a dark and tragic day in Kentucky history. It's the day Heath High School student Michael Carneal opened fire on unsuspecting students, killing 3 of them. In the 25 years since, students who survived that day continue to share their stories and react each time another school is the setting for gun violence.
It's frustrating that after 25 years, it's still happening.
That was Missy Jenkins Smith earlier this year, reacting to the news of the mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. She was paralyzed in the shooting at Heath High School. Just months later, she would open up again as the man who shot her was up for parole.
Also on December the 1st, 1997, Michael sentenced me to life in a wheelchair without the possibility of parole.
For 2 days in September, survivors and families of victims shared their testimony to keep Carneal in prison.
I believe that Michael knew what he was doing the day of the shooting. He brought 5 guns with him, enough ammo to shoot everyone in the school twice, and had 3 pairs of earplugs.
The families and survivors continue to push for change and legislation to protect other communities and families from facing the heartache and pain they continue to process daily. Survivor Brittany Thomas telling WKYT, in light of all the recent shootings that keep happening, I would just add a message for other survivors to not lose hope. It does get better, and healing is possible.
This is Chad Hedrick reporting. Next month marks 5 years since the shooting at Marshall County High School, hard to believe, where 2 students were killed in that incident. And just days before that will be the 30th anniversary of a shooting at East Carter High School. It's known as one of the first school shootings to make national headlines.
And it's been a quiet weather day throughout the mountains, and this evening we have seen temperatures tumble big time as we made it past dark. A look outside right now over Triangle Square in Hazard, or Triangle Park in downtown Hazard. Triangle Square, that's geometry for you that is escaping me at the moment. Anyway, downtown Hazard's at 28 right now. Chilly, beautiful Christmas lights on display, of course, downtown at this hour. Into the middle 30s still in some spots. Moorhead's at 34, Jackson's at 33, but many of us already sneaking into those 20s. And look at Monticello. 21 and 23 in Jonesville. Clear skies helping us out there with the particularly chilly weather. We'll continue to see just a few clouds try to drift in ahead of our next system into the overnight. Details on when we could see a return to some showery activity. That's in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, definitely chilly out there tonight. Evan, thank you. Thousands of pounds of supplies for flood survivors were unloaded in Knott County earlier today. It came all the way from Tippecanoe, Indiana. The long-term Knott County recovery team has been working with the Indiana group who drove the supplies down. Jessica Combs is on the long-term recovery donation team and says if you are in need of supplies, there are steps to follow.
You have to fill out an application. You will be assigned a case manager, and then that case manager will work with you on what you need to get you back in your home. So we're now kind of out of the emergency stage on that.
To fill out an application, you can visit knottcountyrising.org and a case manager will reach out to you. July's flood destroyed the Knott County Area Technology Center, which is the vocational school for Knott County Central High School. But today things are looking a bit brighter for the center's students and staff. The Technology Center received a donation of 100 computers from the Louisville-based organization SOS. Those with the center say this act of generosity lifts a huge burden from their shoulders.
Well, SOS has been a partner of Knott County ATC Health Science Program for years. I've utilized them to help give us consumable supplies that I use every day to teach with. My students utilize the products. Technology is very expensive, so to be offered a donation like that, it's overwhelming.
SOS plans to donate 100 more computers in the upcoming weeks. Those with the Technology Center plan to use these computers once their original building is ready. They estimate it will be up and running toward the end of next year. High school students in the 606 have a chance to win some cash as the Starter Labs pitch competition welcomes applicants. The competition invites students to pitch a business idea to a group of judges, highlighting entrepreneurship and education. Do Good Brands founder Ryan Jones says it is all about spreading the business bug.
Imagine if we had, 100 new small businesses that create maybe 5 jobs each. That's 500 people that could potentially, have an opportunity for a job.
Applications are accepted through December 7th. Jones says he's excited to see the ideas the young minds have created. The city of Prestonsburg opened its Christmas lights at Archer Park a week ago, but tonight was a bit more calm to accommodate those who may be sensitive to overstimulation. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more from city officials and parents on how the display has been toned down a bit to allow everyone to enjoy the lights this holiday season.
Prestonsburg's Christmas lights display at Orchard Park is very bright and can get very loud.
Some of our lights are very aggressive, and by aggressive I mean they're really doing a lot of flashing, they're bright, the noise, the songs will be really loud, and it's pretty intense.
That is why on Thursday the city toned down the flashing and moving lights to allow those who experience sensory overload to enjoy a night at the park.
We need to be more aware of the sensory issues that some people have, so we've toned everything down. It'll either be still or it'll be low-key, and it gives people an opportunity to bring kids out to enjoy it that may not have been able to enjoy it otherwise.
For parents like Courtney Kreider, this night is special to her family.
Nothing makes me happier than to see everybody noticing and being more aware of children like mine's needs.
Allowing her family to be included in all the holiday fun without having to worry about her children being overstimulated.
It brings my kids happiness, and they get to enjoy things, and like I said, they don't get as overstimulated. If they do get overstimulated, there's always a place for them to go in the area for them to calm down and come back out and enjoy the time.
Spreading Christmas cheer for all. In Prestonsburg, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Kreider added that she and the Eastern Kentucky Autism and Sensory Processing Disorder Support Group are thrilled to have a night to make sure families with differently abled children are included. A student and school bus driver are still in the hospital following a school bus crash in Magoffin County. It happened nearly 3 weeks ago on Route 40. The bus went down an embankment and flipped on its side. All 18 students on the bus and the driver were taken to the hospital, and again, all but one student has now been released. Logan County, West Virginia Sheriff's Office officials report a man accused of sending inappropriate messages to middle school students has been arrested. 25-year-old Aaron Grant of Foster, West Virginia, was arrested and arraigned today. The Sheriff's Office reports school resource officers at Logan Middle School were made aware of the possible inappropriate messages via the social media platform Snapchat yesterday. Grant was charged with distribution and display to a minor of obscene matter. The town of Heath High, Virginia is wishing the best for its police chief. Yesterday, the town posted on Facebook that Chief Bobby Edwards is leaving his position as he moves on in his career. The post said, quote, "He was very instrumental in bringing the Heath High Police Department into the 21st century with his grant writing skills and technological advancement practices." The town thanked Chief Edwards for his many years of service. The House Select Committee probing the January 6th siege on the U.S. Capitol questioned Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos today. In a statement released after the probe, Voss said he had no involvement with the attack on that day, where protesters tried to prevent the handover of presidential power from then-President Trump to his successor, President Joe Biden. He also added that he answered questions about his state's 2020 presidential election. Voss had tried to sue the panel previously in an attempt to block his subpoena. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy wants to make sure all information regarding the Select Committee investigation into January 6th is preserved. In a letter sent to the committee yesterday, McCarthy said he wants to make sure everything involved in the probe into that fateful day at the U.S. Capitol is kept for transparency reasons. Democratic Representative Benny Thompson, who served as chairman of the January 6th group, says the committee will be done with its work by New Year's Eve and that McCarthy can do what he sees fit with the records and transcripts. Kentucky Democrats want the state Supreme Court to take up their challenge to redistricting passed by the Republican-led state legislature. A judge recently said the maps for the state House and congressional seats were gerrymandered but were not unconstitutional. This fall, Democrats lost more ground in the legislature. The Kentucky Republican Party responded to the appeal by Democrats, saying they keep running to the courts after they didn't recruit strong candidates. Ashland-based King's Daughters Hospital is officially part of the University of Kentucky. King's Daughters is the largest employer in northeastern Kentucky. Officials say the move will create greater access to high-quality care. UK and King's Daughters have been working together for about 2 years. A bipartisan bill to honor the wife of Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr has passed in the Senate. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Cardiovascular Advances in Research and Opportunities Legacy, or CAROL Act, passed by unanimous consent in the Senate. The legislation was introduced last year in honor of Carol Barr, who died from a cardiac issue. The CAROL Act supports research and raises awareness for valvular heart disease. The bill will need to go back to the House before it can go to President Biden. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, multiple middle school students in California are sent to the hospital. We'll tell you why next.
Plus, warming up later on this weekend as some showers may move back in. That full breakdown ahead.